What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream repair and happy holidays. Yeah, let's see here. There we go. So, we have got quite a lot of HomePods, more than what's up on the screen there, but we're going to try to keep today's stream manageable and under a reasonable time frame because I want to get back to enjoying my time off. So, let's grab the first one up here. And let's shoot them a message. They've got time to join in here before we dive on into it. We've got Brian here, no power. Looks like they texted us, so we'll text them back here. Let me get that link. Find their message. There we go. And who's next? Ricky? Let's go ahead and do them the favor of letting them know they're up next so they've got plenty of time to join as well. Ricky 149. Turns on fine, but the sound from my music is like it has no bass and very hollow sounding. Yes, indeed. Okay. They texted us too, so let's see here. Alright. So, yes, I will be giving away a couple of HomePod docks here. That's gonna be one of these guys. It allows you to, like you see us here on many of our streams, attempt a software restore on many of these HomePods with the blinkies or boot looping or setup and configuration issues. Doesn't always, it's not like it's a guaranteed fix for HomePods with those issues. But I would say based on my experience, it's about a 50-50 shot whether it's a hardware issue or just a software issue that needs a little kick in the pants over USB. It's a little sad that Apple didn't offer this kind of service, let alone even sell these adapters to their customers. But I guess I'll step in and help out there for you. Yeah, we'll be giving away a black one of these, a white one as well, and then I've got a mystery color that I have not made yet. You have not seen it yet. If you've got any guesses, you're probably wrong. But I've got a 3 that we'll be giving away, and it also comes with a case, so you can keep it nice and safe if you're ever not using it. This part actually doubles as a little cap for the top because when you're attempting a software restore on these HomePods, you have to put it upside down in order for it to go into DFU mode and allow a software restore. So that'll help keep the top nice and safe. It'll keep the dock safe if you're not using it, and it's otherwise nice and flush. If you want to have it upright on the table for the some of the hidden functionality we've found, like USB AirPlay is what I call it. It doesn't use Wi-Fi or wireless or anything. But anyways, I've got all the details in the description. All you have to do to enter for a chance to win one of these adapters is fill out my survey. I've got a link to the Google form. It requires you to sign in with a Google account. That's just to help make sure only one person is, one person per whatever, all the details and whatever are in the Google form. Head over there and fill out the quick little survey. It's really just kind of my curiosity as far as the questions are. I just want to see what people have out there and what the actual experience with these that most people have been having, because it's kind of tricky to tell running a repair business how reliable a product is, because your bias is always going to be only seeing, of course, broken stuff showing up. Nobody's going to send you something in general that's working just fine for no reason, right? So we're only going to see all the broken stuff. I'm curious how many of these are actually out there and how many people have how many, and what the ratio is of who's got issues and who's had to work with Apple, and you'll see what I mean if you fill out that survey for me. But here we go. Let's dive on into this now. We've got Brian's with no power. After this, we've got Ricky with no bass, and then a few other ones here we'll knock out today, and then plenty more for the next few days here waiting as well. We're going to start off by seeing if it actually has power or not. It certainly does not. No lights, no power, no nothing. We've got a couple of watts being pulled from the wall. That tells me that we definitely have some sort of short going on inside. It's not like a blown fuse, because we wouldn't be seeing any power draw. We'd be seeing like 0 watts. Alex, welcome. Let's fix this camera too. Oh, we're all over the place, huh? How many taps does it take? Now for the fun part. Get some alcohol, and we're going to drip that in between the subwoofer and the speaker basket. The speaker basket isn't actually holding the subwoofer down or even sealing anything. Everything is already sealed by the time the subwoofer is screwed down. And the basket's got 9 screws holding it in place, so we don't like to glue this back down because we don't want to make it harder for someone else in the future. not like it was really needed in the first place. The second gen HomePod uses not only fewer screws, but no adhesive. Go figure. They said, oops, we made this a little too difficult. Gotta step back a little bit. How do we make this just difficult enough for people at home while making it not a problem for us at Apple? And they said, I got it. We'll make the drawstring too short to tighten back up when they're pulling it back together. That'll do the trick. I wish they sold parts for the second gen HomePods. That would be really nice. And they could sell like a repair kit that comes with a replacement mesh and a new top touch panel so that people can fix theirs with ghost touch issues, assuming it's a hardware issue. It certainly seems like it to me, but there is a valid theory that it's the firmware controller and the software that runs it that's not able to compensate for some kind of difference between a working and a not working touch panel. Referring to all these second gen HomePods and minis out there with ghost touches and phantom touches and dead spots and basically having a mind of their own. Oh, Alex, thank you, by the way, for the chips and chocolate. Thank you so much. That stuff rocks. And my 2-year-old loves them too. She's a spicy food fiend. I saw sweet and spicy jalapeno. I knew. Ooh. She was going for him. What do we got here? Our amplifier board, we're going to flip this around, and before we do any real fixing, we're going to do a little bit of maintenance first. That is our 4 filters that love to go bad over time, as they naturally do. It's not their fault, it just is what they are. But they go bad over time and they cause all sorts of issues like death farts and no bass and roasting subwoofer speakers, making them all stinky. So we're going to replace these filters, kind of like changing the oil filter on your car before it spins a bearing. Ooh, the backlog, oh man, it's rough. I'll be honest. I was kind of hoping / expecting things to slow down by Christmas, but yesterday I had 12 show up, and then today I had another 7, so we've got about 19 or so waiting to get fixed right now. But at least everything will be closed tomorrow, so no more can show up, and we'll have a little bit of buffer to catch up here, and I'm hoping things slow down at least by the end of the year. I don't know if I can keep up with 14 being like the daily norm, you know what I mean? I can do 14 a week, but 14 a day and then 10 the next day, and like the trickling thereafter. It's brutal. At the very least, it's fun to fix them, and it's fun to test them, because I have, 20 to 30 HomePods in my room, reset and all within my control. The power of 20 to 30 HomePods in a small single room is incredible. And I love all the haters that are like, this, that, and the other thing, it sounds bad, it's not actually that powerful, whatever. You're welcome to come over and listen to it for yourself. It is something to behold, something to be listened to. Especially when it draws so much power that it's sucking all the juice from my ceiling lights and making them dim to the beat. Almost. There we go. Now let's flip this around and take care of the star Schottky diode of the show. Is it 46K or 48K? Take your bets. Place your guesses. It's a 48K for those keeping track at home. +1 for the 48Ks. Let's get that old crappy diode out of here. We'll get it replaced with a bigger, better, stronger, newer diode that won't fail on us. This particular problem won't happen again for them because the original diode only failed from some sort of quality control issue with a certain date range of them. Unfortunately, there's no correlation to the serial number of the HomePod itself, but on the bright side, there's no sense in worrying about it. No sense in ripping your HomePod apart if it's if it's still working. It's going to be the same amount of time and effort if you try to replace it before it happens or after it happens. It's kind of an isolated failure. Easy to fix. Did you see that ball go all the way around and then up there? That's pretty cool. I think that's neat. Let's give this amp a quick second to cool off, and we'll put this back together. Where did that other one go? See, it's like some HomePods, these screws for the amplifier just go right in like butter. There's no fighting it, there's no dancing around, there's no try and try again. It just goes. And then there are some that are like every single screw out of these 14, every single one of them just wants to put up a fight, and it bounces back out. There it goes all cattywampus. Kind of like this one. No, that one was alright. I still can't believe we straight up snapped a bit in that last stream. I've never had that happen to me before. But I imagine since I have to hit all these at an angle to not break these off the board, these big caps, since I have to do most of these screws at an angle, it's probably, yeah, you can actually see it. It's kind of cutting a lip into like a millimeter into the tip. Slowly and slowly. Oh, I had to say something. There we go. These need a particular amount of torque. Not too much, because you'll squish the gasket that sits underneath them, and they won't seal. Not too little, obviously, because they won't seal either. Let's get a fresh subwoofer gasket made of nice new rubber. Get rid of that old foam stuff. Jed, welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas to you too. Alright, everything sounds nice and sealed. We can put the rest of this together. These ones too, you can't over tighten them, or what they'll do is they'll start pulling up the layers of stuff underneath and interfering with how it seals. Ironic, because it does nothing to actually seal anything in the first place, but if you tighten it too much, it will make it no longer seal. Yes, thank you, Jed. Give me your statistics. And there we go. Let's see. I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Yep.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Yeah. All right. One down. A few dozen more to go. Here is Ricky. Ricky has no base. Something like that. After Ricky, we've got Z-Man. $170. Let's go ahead and shoot Z-Man a message. They've got plenty of time to join. Here we go.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Oh yeah. That is that's what we're looking for there. Okay. So I don't smell nothing funny. There's a few possibilities here. One, and the luckiest, would be that there's nothing wrong with the subwoofer, and we've just got a random short somewhere on the amplifier, keeping the bass from working. Or two, the more likely scenario is those filters that we always replace in every HomePod as part of our maintenance have gone bad in this one, and it took the subwoofer out with it. And in which case it will need a new one, because it will be rather stinky. But let's see. This does not want to progress. It's because we're stuck on the drawstring. Interesting, that's the second time that's happened. Might be about time to replace my tools. save that. Very nice. Never store your iron clean. Oof. Alright, it has a chance. The subwoofer feels okay and it looks okay from the outside. Alright. Yes. And oh, the subwoofer's just fine. So we've got some kind of short going on in the amplifier. This just got a little more exciting. Normally ones with no bass, it's the filters that go bad and the subwoofer that gets roasted as a result. But this one, the subwoofer is fine. And the resistor on the amplifier that normally blows up as well is also fine. So it won't be the first time we've seen a random no bass issue like that. I've got plenty of different causes that we've seen for no bass up on my website under the known issues section. And that's what we're going to look for. We're going to basically go through all of our known no bass issues and check for those symptoms one at a time. It'll be pretty quick and easy too. We're just going to look for a few shorts, look for some obvious physical damage. We should find it in no time. Oof. Okay. We'll flip this around. And here is the main bass amp chip. Each speaker gets its own amp chip. The tweeter has its own, each of the 7 tweeters have their own amp on this board. And then the bass speaker gets all of this by itself. This beautiful chunk here. All that just for the bass speaker. And normally these 4 filters that you see us replace all the time are what go bad and roast the subwoofer, but when that's not the case, as it looks like here, we're either going to have a short on this capacitor or we're going to see a short on this capacitor caused by this IC going bad. And we'll see a short here and here and on this IC. We'll need to replace this IC into this capacitor. I think it's a 0.1 microfarad. But we won't need to replace this one. This one will still be good even though it looks shorted on the board. Let's grab our meter and hope it's one of the easy ones we know of. Alright, is it this one? First try, buddy. There it is. That is our shorted capacitor. And I've got the spec and what we use to replace that on my website under this known issue for known base, but I've got a bunch of new ones here, so we'll go ahead and replace that really quick. And we'll do a little bit of maintenance to this board too, so that way it doesn't come back for any other issue. We'll give it new filters so that it doesn't die from what we thought we were going to fix here. And then we'll see if it needs a new Schottky diode to prevent that other common no power issue. Alright. Not my best, not my worst. Let's take care of this stuff over here now. These have nothing to do with our base issue at hand right now, but rest assured they will at some point in the near future, so we'll get those replaced before that is a problem. Why do they look so off? There we go. And what's the situation with our shot key? Oh, we've got a 26K date code there, so we don't need to worry about that failing and causing no power. That means we can put this back together. Cheers, folks. Don't worry, that wasn't their subwoofer. Uh-oh. There we go. I think the USB port on my LG Ultrafine 5K is finally giving up. I've never done it. I just got lucky with 2 parts monitors, one that needed a new board and one that needed a new panel. So I combined the working parts for the 2 to get myself a working LG Ultrafine 5K for less than $150. Not a bad deal. Unfortunately, their design kind of sucks in the sense that they only have one input and it's a vertically mounted USB-C port on the main board, soldered directly to it. And it has a tendency to break and get loose and wiggle around, especially when it's the only input. Something's not sealed. Something isn't sealed. What is it? Something still isn't sealing. What the heck? What are we missing here? Nothing is bent. Try this again, I guess. Something still isn't sealed. This is driving me insane. It's this stupid glue from the factory. I think. If that's not it. Make sure these all have, yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. They all have their gaskets. Try this one more time. I'm replacing it all. It's going in the bin. You have wasted enough of my time. It's not going to work still. What's broken? What is possibly broken on this? It's the dust cap. Oh no. Why is the dust cap not sealing anymore? Why? Well, I mean, I can fix that easily. This is the first time I've ever seen one fail like this. We'll just hit it with a little bit of, oh, you know, better than this. I've got some rubber cement we can use. It'll bond really well to the subwoofer here. I've used this to fix my SingCell Alpha speaker. When it was shipped to me, it wasn't packed very well and it cut a hole in the foam cone. And this stuff is real flexible, so it won't interfere. There we go. This isn't rubber cement. This is it's basically weather strip adhesive, but it dries nice and flexible. There's the hole right in there, so I want to make sure we get plenty in there. Okay. Yeah, wheezy woofer. Well, if anything I can do to actually save these subwoofers instead of having to replace them outright, especially when there isn't a place to get new ones. Kind of a strange coincidence that subwoofer had that kind of a leak in it, with a totally unrelated no bass issue on the amplifier itself.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Very good.
I'm having trouble connecting.
All right. We got our base back. We want to let that glue dry before we put it under any serious testing. But that is fixed. We now move on to, excuse me, we've got Z-Man here with no power. After that, it is Tom, I believe. They've also got no power. Let's see here. Oh, Z-Man turns on. Let me see what I got wrong written down here. 170, no power. Huh. I think.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Oh, Z-Man. Wonderful timing. That's interesting. It's turning on. That is very much on here. What do we do? Oh no. Oh, it wouldn't turn on after unplugging and replugging multiple times. Maybe it takes a second here for it to act up. We might have to just leave it plugged in for a while and see if it fails on us. Seems to be pulling the appropriate amount of power.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Well, yes, we can most certainly still open it up. Let's see here. Yeah, you did opt for the hardware maintenance either way, so we can go ahead and crack this open. We'll see if it needs any, if we see anything unusual, and we'll replace the usual suspects. The Schottky diode failure in particular isn't one of those that kind of intermittently works and doesn't. It kind of just, once it dies, it's dead and it stays that way. So it's definitely not the Schottky diode that you see us normally replace here. But we certainly don't mind giving this the good old hardware maintenance treatment and letting it test over the holiday, making sure that it's as good to go as we can make it. Here we go. And you don't have, you want to go around your house and make sure all your other HomePods are working too? If you've got, well, I know you've got at least two. This one and the other one we fixed for you. And this one's definitely not one that we've worked on before, I can already tell. Just by how hard it is to get these tops off here. We have definitely had people send the wrong HomePod into us before. Oh, I do have a question for you. You use this on 110 volt AC power, right? Like standard US power? funny here. Standard US power. I ask because I've had somebody send a HomePod in before that was used on 220 volt power. And internally, these are all the same. The power plug might be different between a US one or a UK one, for example, but internally they are all the same. They have a switching power supply that can support 110 volts all the way up to 220 volts, something like that. So I had somebody send their HomePod in for no power, and they used it on 220. When I got it, it turned right on for me, and I couldn't think of why until we opened it up, and we saw the power supply was completely cooked, but only the parts that deal with the 220 volt service. And because I had 110 volt, luckily, well, I guess you could look at it that way, but by chance, the 110 volt circuit powering the HomePod was still working, and it was the 220 volt that was fried. But since you use it on the same power that I do, that's certainly not the case here. But I just don't know what could explain that. Maybe it was stuck in some weird software state. I think we will replace the power supply just for good measure. Since I have so many of these power supplies sitting around. Didn't take an update either. We will see if it can update with us here when we're done with it. Alright. Oh, I guess I missed one. Here we go. Let's see what we've got here. Well, dang. Everything looks and smells okay. It doesn't even have the same diode that fails and causes no power. So really the only other thing that we can do with this other than replacing that power supply is giving it some new filters. This won't have anything to do with any power issues, but We've got it here, we've got it apart. We'll keep those death farts and all sorts of other base issues away. And this may be a silly question, but you tried it on a different outlet, right? A different outlet, and I'm also curious how long you left it unplugged before you tried plugging it back in again. Like if there was ever a time where you left it unplugged for, say, more than a few hours, and then tried plugging it in later. Alright, that's about all that we can do to it. Tried a different outlet, left it unplugged overnight. Interesting. How many updates do you suppose are left on the OG HomePods? That is a tough question. You know, I'm surprised they even got 18 because they are based on iPhone 6 hardware, and the iPhone 6 has been long discontinued. But I guess maybe they won't get iOS 19. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if they get 19. I think 18 would be the last one they're gonna get. But I'm not too sure. They surprised me with 18 already, so I can't be too certain about that. It is a lot easier to run newer OSs on these compared to the iPhone 6 that they're based on, because there's simply less that they have to do. They've got like what, an 8x8 LED array here as a display, and they're basically an audio server. It's a lot easier than being a whole iPhone, you know. So it kind of makes sense that they're able to push updates to these for so long. These will keep getting updates until the last Apple executive gets rid of their last first gen, and then they'll stop updating them. There we go. Alright.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Well, it still works. So, I'm not too sure what to make of that yet. I'm gonna leave this one, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this one in right away. If I can find a power cable that works. There we go. Alright. Well, it's a good thing we've got a long holiday break here, so we can give Z-Man there plenty of time to test and make sure that it's as fixed as we can make it. Let's move on to Tom. Tom with no power. After that, we've got Ryan, and then Jeff. The man, the myth, the miracle Jeff. We've got Ryan and Jeff emailed, so they've got plenty of time to join in with us here. Let's take a look at Tom. No lights, no power. Couple of watts from the wall. That's what we expect to see with no power. Let's get it fixed. Like, I don't mind if Apple slows down or slows down on the updates for the first gens, and they don't even include feature updates anymore as long as they keep them relatively secure. I saw somebody on Reddit mention me with a really great point, and not to mention the fellow that helped make software restores for bricked HomePods that even happened, David. They both make great points that these are capable of listening to you whenever. So it's pretty important that you keep them up to date. If you care about your privacy and security at all, that is. I mean, if you don't, then why'd you get this? You could have gotten an Alexa, right? So as long as Apple keeps these secure, because they're not just, they can listen to you at all times, and they're connected to the internet. So it's kind of important that that kind of stuff stays secure. You wouldn't want your fridge or your dishwasher or your washing machine or any of your other smart appliances that are connected to the internet running old, outdated software that allows anyone to just hop in and do whatever they want with it, right? It's no different for these HomePods here. That's what I thought, Mr. Sticky Threads. Yabbity doo, yabbity ba, yabbity yay. Ah, it's another 48K dated diode. I don't even gotta test it. I know it's gonna work. Let's get this back together. These drawstrings, man, they can be obnoxious sometimes. There we go. Ooh, okay. All that's got me worked up. Ooh, if you didn't think I was weird enough yet, this is room temperature. I prefer it that way. Okay. Raj, what is up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas to you too. Happy holidays. I hope everything and the weather is nice over where you are. hope you've got plenty of HomePods that are happy and serving you well for the holidays. Yes, that's right. All right. Beautiful. Just poked Z-Man's HomePod. It's still on and working fine for now. Let's take a look now at Ryan's. Then we've got Jeff. And possibly more. We'll see what else we can get to here while everyone's asleep. Cold in the UK. No lights, no power, couple of watts from the wall. Well, more like 7, but still within the range that we usually see for a dead diode. Let's get it fixed. Ooh. Okay. Something doesn't smell right. Maybe I'm smelling something else. Maybe I'm smelling another HomePod. but I'm getting distinct burned subwoofer whiffs. No, this one's just fine. It's not coming from this one. Am I having a stroke? Alright, let's get those fancy little fart filters fixed up first, and then we'll flip this board around and switch out that shorted hotkey causing its power issues. Excuse me. Okay, let's flip this around and get that diode. It is of the 4-6 flavor. There you have it. Alright. I'm still waiting on, I was hoping the man, the myth, the miracle Jeff would make it to witness his HomePod repair, but he doesn't seem to be here yet. So we're going to skip that and move on to another one first here. Looks like we've got Ryan all fixed up at least.
I'm having trouble connect.
Alright. So here is Jeff. We've actually got two Jeffs here. We're going to start with Jeff H. And then we'll go with Jeff M. So, Jeff H here. This actually is one of the broken HomePods I've got set aside for people that want to buy one of our refurbs. I have started selling refurbished HomePods. They get the same treatment as any other repair here, with new filters, new diode, new subwoofer gasket, 1-year warranty. Shipped to you if you're in the US for $160. Not too bad considering people are selling broken ones for that much, let alone how much new ones can go for. Or working ones. But we're gonna spruce this up for Jeff here and get it sent right out to them. Alright, first up, some new filters. Alright, that is one working HomePod for Jeff H.
Narrator window, skip for now, button, alert, undo, scan off. Don't show this again, check, scan, narrator window heading level, exiting narrator.
Thank you. Alright. We've got one working HomePod for Jeff H. Let's take a look here at Chris's no power pod, actually. Yep, I'm gonna skip Jeff M because I was really hoping that I could stream their repair with them. They're a swell fella, and I'd really like them to be with us when we fix their HomePod here, so we'll save it for when they're with us. We've got Jeff's here, or Chris is here instead with the usual no power symptoms. Let's get it fixed. already hearing fireworks going off. Well, that's because we got Chris fixed. Folks, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. I'm gonna go take the rest of this day off and hang out with the family. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to catch you in another one soon. Bye. Let me go!
I'm having trouble
Yes. See you folks later.